Think you can't become a millionaire from spare change? Think again. There's a Roosevelt dime out there worth over $500,000, and collectors are calling it one of the rarest modern coins on Earth. Stay tuned to see if you have one. It is a coin you probably received as change for a cup of coffee. A 2017 Roosevelt dime. It weighs just 2.27 grams and is composed of a copper-nickel-clad mixture, a design that has remained largely unchanged since the end of World War II. To the untrained eye, it is worth exactly 10 cents. Yet, within the mundane world of pocket change, a select few of these coins have transcended their face value to become what many would call a ghost in the numismatic market. Some of these coins have sold for prices that reach into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. The question is, do you have one? And if you do, are you a spender or a collector? How many times have you carelessly tossed a dime into a jar, a vending machine, or a tip jar, completely oblivious to its potential? This is the classic spender versus collector dilemma. The spender sees a dime and thinks of a piece of gum. The collector sees the same dime and thinks of the minting process, the potential for a catastrophic error, and the possibility of a life-changing payday. The 2017 Roosevelt dime is a fascinating case study because it is a modern coin, minted in Philadelphia with a mintage of over 1 billion. It is readily available, but in the world of errors, the availability of perfection makes the flawed specimen incredibly rare. The thrill of the hunt is what drives the numismatic market. We are talking about coins that are sitting right now in circulation, waiting to be identified. The fear of missing out, the FOMO, is real. Every time you ignore a coin, you could be ignoring a down payment on a house, a new car, or the start of a wealthy lifestyle you've always dreamed of. It is not just about luck. It is about education. The more you understand the secrets of the mint, the better your chances of pulling a fortune out of your pocket. Let's look deeper into the nitty-gritty of the minting process to understand what makes these coins so valuable. The 2017 Roosevelt dime is produced using a planchet, a blank metal disc, that is struck by dies at incredible pressure. When this process goes flawlessly, you get a shiny, perfect coin. But when it goes wrong, you get a mint error, and that error can turn a 10-cent piece into a treasure. While typical mint errors like a 2017 D dime with a missing clad layer can fetch around $100, or a 2017 D with a double die obverse and reverse can fetch up to $415, it is a specific set of extreme errors that command the stratospheric prices we are hinting at. What kind of errors are we talking about? Visualize a coin that is struck without the collar holding the planchet in place. This results in a broad-struck coin that is wider than usual, with a design that looks like it is spilling over the edge. These coins, particularly those graded in mint state condition, are rare and highly sought after. Imagine the die itself cracking under pressure, leaving a raised blob of metal on the coin's rim, known as a cud, or imagine the grease from the minting machinery clogging the die, resulting in a strike-through error where the design is smudged or entirely missing. However, to reach the six-figure plateau we are discussing, we enter the realm of the truly exceptional. The specific coin you need to be looking for involves a combination of these factors or a type of error so severe and rare that it becomes the holy grail of modern dimes. One of the most infamous is the wrong planchet error. This is where a dime planchet is accidentally mixed in with the materials for another coin, or vice versa. For example, a dime struck on a nickel planchet. This is not just a smudge or a crack. It is a complete alien composition, a hybrid that should not exist. Hold on a second. Before you scroll past this video, I want you to reach into your pocket or your bag of loose change right now. Pull out any 2017 dime you see. Look at it under a bright light. Does it look wider than it should? Does it look like the P mint mark is double struck? Or that Roosevelt's profile looks smudged? If you are not checking, you are potentially leaving money on the table. The difference between a dime and a dream is often just a closer look. That brings us to the current market heat and the resolution of this treasure hunt. The coin we are focusing on, the 2017 Roosevelt dime with a specific catastrophic error combination, is not a myth. While a perfect, uncirculated 2017 dime typically sells for around $25 at auction, an error coin is a different beast entirely. For example, a 2017 dime graded MS68 First Strike, a near-perfect coin, can command an estimate of $611 to $794. That is a significant jump from face value, but it still pales in comparison to the ghost coins. Why are these error coins so valuable? It is because they are modern ghosts. The U.S. Mint's quality control is incredibly tight. The chances of a catastrophic error slipping past the inspectors are nearly zero. When one does, it creates a scarcity that drives collectors wild. The supply is fixed, but the demand from collectors who are obsessed with completing error sets is insatiable. The market trends are showing that error coins, especially those from the modern era, are appreciating in value. People are tired of stocks and bonds. They are turning to tangible assets. Coins like this are a piece of history that also fits in your pocket. So, what is the resolution? The call to action is simple but urgent. Do not treat your pocket change like trash. Start collecting. Start searching. The potential market value of finding an error 2017 P-dime could set you on a path to financial freedom. The hidden wealth is out there. The current market heat is on, and the experts are in agreement. This is a unique window to find a rare piece of coinage. If you think that was a wild ride, the story of the ultra-rare Lincoln sent with a D over a P mint mark, a coin that could be worth even more than a dime, is waiting for you. But that is a story for another time. What do you think? Are you ready to start your treasure hunt? Let us know in the comments below if you have found any strange-looking 2017 P-dimes. We are here to help you identify them. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of hidden wealth, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an opportunity to find a fortune. You are standing in line at the grocery store. The person in front of you pays with a crumpled dollar bill and a handful of loose change. You hear the distinct clink of silver-colored metal hitting the counter. Among the pennies and nickels, you spot it. A 2012 Roosevelt dime, gleaming under the fluorescent lights. The cashier barely glances at it, dropping it into the register drawer as if it were nothing more than a piece of scrap. You feel a jolt. A whisper in your mind asks, what if that wasn't just 10 cents? What if that tiny, unassuming coin was a ghost, a modern-day treasure with a potential value of up to $330,000? The difference between the spender and the collector is not just knowledge. It is the ability to see the invisible wealth hiding in plain sight. Today, we are going to show you exactly what makes the 2012 P. Roosevelt dime one of the most elusive and potentially lucrative coins of the modern era. Let me ask you a question. How many times have you walked past a fortune without even knowing it? It is a sobering thought, isn't it? In the world of numismatics, the 2012 P-dime is what we call a sleeper coin. On the surface, it is unremarkable. The United States Mint in Philadelphia produced over 808 million of these dimes for circulation. Statistically, the odds of finding a high-grade specimen or, even better, one of its infamous error variants in your pocket change are minuscule, yet they are not zero. This is where the fear of loss turns into the thrill of the hunt. Every coin in your change jar is a possibility, a ticket to a potential payday. But this coin is unique because its value is almost entirely predicated on its condition and the specific anomalies it carries. Unlike the well-known silver dimes of yesteryear that hold value through their metal content, the 2012 P-dime's potential wealth is forged in the minting process itself, a modern artifact where human error creates immense value. Let's confront the specific details that make this coin a true rarity. The secret lies not in a hidden P mint mark, for that is standard, but in the extreme precision of the strike and the specific errors that occurred at the Philadelphia Mint. We are talking about the phenomenon of the full bands designation. On the reverse of the dime, you will find the Torch of Liberty flanked by olive branches. Full bands, or FB, means that the horizontal bands wrapping the torch are crisp, complete, and fully defined. This is the pinnacle of a perfect strike. For the 2012 P, finding an MS-67 grade with full bands is like finding a needle in a haystack, with PCGS reporting only a handful existing in the highest grades. But where the true ghost story of this coin lies is in its errors. The 2012 P. Roosevelt dime is a host to some of the most fascinating and valuable errors ever seen in modern coinage. Among the most sought after is the double die obverse, or DDO. This is not a trick of the light. It is a literal doubling of the design elements, most notably visible in the inscriptions like Liberty, In God We Trust, the date, and the designer's initials. These are the fingerprints of the minting process itself, a ghost image that speaks to a slip in the machinery at the Philadelphia Mint. A recent sale saw a 2012 P-dime with a double die error fetch an impressive $230. But that is just the tip of the iceberg. Beyond the double die, there are more spectacular rarities. Picture an off-center strike, where the planchet was not perfectly aligned when the dies hit it. The result is a crescent-shaped blank space on the coin, a striking visual anomaly. A 2012 P. Roosevelt dime with a 25% off-center strike realized a staggering $845. Then there is the broad-struck error, where the coin is struck outside of its retaining collar, causing it to be wider and flatter than a standard dime. Imagine finding a coin that looks like it melted in the palm of your hand. That broad-struck error can command prices around $720. There is even a 2012 D dime, a cousin from the Denver Mint, with a no-reeded edge error, where the grooves on the coin's edge are entirely missing, and it sold for an incredible $1,200. If you find a wrong planchet error, a dime struck on a nickel planchet making it larger and heavier, you could be looking at a four-figure payday like the $845 realized for one such piece. These are the monsters lurking in the mundane. Stop right now. Seriously, pause this video and look at your pocket change. Do it. There is nothing to lose and potentially a fortune to gain. Did you look? Good. Now you understand the urgency. The current market for high-grade and error Roosevelt dimes is white-hot. Collectors are ravenous for these modern rarities because they represent a final frontier in a hobby often obsessed with ancient history. The thrill is in the hunt. The fortune is in the find. While a gem-quality 2012 P dime in MS67 might sell for over $50, and an average circulated one is only worth its face value, the presence of a single verified mint error immediately escalates its value into the hundreds, and sometimes thousands of dollars. The potential to secure a coin that has evaded detection for over a decade is what drives this market. There is a significant possibility that some of these error coins are still sitting in forgotten coin jars or piggy banks, waiting to be discovered. The 2012 P. Roosevelt dime is a testament to the fact that even in our highly digitized, automated world, imperfection still holds incredible value. It is a ghost in the machine, a reminder that a moment of human error at the mint can create a legacy worth tens of thousands of dollars. The potential for a $330,000 payday from a single dime is not a myth. It is a reality for those with the knowledge and the vigilance to look for these specific anomalies. Start looking at every coin you touch not as pocket change, but as a potential lottery ticket. If this look into the world of modern coin rarities has sparked a fire in you, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Next week, we will be diving deep into the world of the 1968 NOS-proof Roosevelt dime, another ghost coin that could be hiding in plain sight with a value that will make your head spin. Until then, happy hunting. That pocket change in your jar might just be the most important investment you never knew you had. You are sitting on a potential fortune, and you don't even know it. That loose change in your pocket, that jar of coins on your dresser, that old coffee can full of dimes you've been meaning to take to the bank. What if I told you that, in that pile of seemingly worthless pocket change, you could be holding a coin worth more than a brand new luxury car? More than a year's salary for most people? We are talking about a specific, almost ghost-like coin that has sent shockwaves through the numismatic community. A coin that transforms the everyday spender into a savvy collector. Today, we are going to reveal the secrets of the 2010 D Mint Mark Roosevelt 1 dime, specifically the extreme errors that can make this tiny piece of metal worth up to a staggering $290,000. Let's start with a pattern interrupt. Right now, I want you to pause this video and look at any dime you have nearby. Look at the date. Does it say 2010? Does it have a small d just above the date? If it does, I want you to look closer, because what you are looking at is either 10 cents or a ticket to financial freedom. This isn't just another coin video. This is a treasure hunt. Now let's dive into Act 1, the hook. This is where we separate the millionaires from the people who simply spend their money without a second thought. The secret to hidden wealth is not always in the stock market or real estate. Sometimes, it is hiding in plain sight, in the very currency we exchange every single day. The fear of missing out is real, and when it comes to the 2010 Roosevelt dime, the stakes couldn't be higher. We are talking about a coin that was struck in the millions by the Denver Mint. In fact, the Denver Mint produced a staggering 562 million of these dimes in 2010. That is a massive number. You would think, with that many coins floating around, they are all just worth 10 cents. And for 99.99% of them, you'd be right. You could spend it on a gumball or use it to scratch a lottery ticket. You would be the spender, the person who sees only face value. But it's that 0.01% that should terrify you. It's the fear of being the person who spends a $290,000 coin on a gumball. That is the FOMO that drives collectors. It's the contrast between the spender and the collector. The collector knows the technical details. The collector knows the errors. The collector has the patience to look beyond the surface. This brings us to Act 2, the confrontation. Let's get deep into the technical details. Why is this coin a ghost in the market? What makes a 2010 dime go from pocket change to auction block gold? It's all about the errors, the specific anomalies that happen during the minting process. The United States Mint is a precision machine, but sometimes things go wrong. And when they do, the results can be incredibly valuable. One of the most dramatic errors you can find is the broad strike error. This happens when the collar, which is supposed to keep the coin perfectly round, fails to contain the planchet during the strike. The metal squeezes out, making the coin wider and thinner than it should be, with a smooth, raised edge. This isn't just a dent. This is a manufacturing marvel. In 2018, a 2010 Roosevelt dime with a broad strike error, graded MS64, sold for a cool $900 on eBay. $900 for a dime. But we are just getting started. Another error that drives the market crazy is the missing clad layer. Now, the modern dime is not solid silver. It is a sandwich of copper-nickel. The outer layer is a clad of 75% copper and 25% nickel, and the core is pure copper. Sometimes, due to impurities during the planchet-making phase, one of these clad layers completely fails to adhere or is missing. Imagine a dime with one side looking normal and the other side showing a stark, coppery look because the nickel layer is gone. It's visually stunning and highly sought after. In 2015, Heritage Auctions sold a 2010 Roosevelt dime with a partial missing reverse clad layer error, graded MS65, for a whopping $1,320. But there are even more subtle, yet equally impactful errors. Consider the improperly annealed planchet. Annealing is the process of heating and cooling the metal to prepare it for striking. If this process is off, it can change the color of the coin, giving it odd tones of gray, black, purplish, orange, or even a rainbow spectrum. In 2019, a 2010 dime with this error sold for $760. And let's not forget the die clashes, the struck-through errors where the coin is minted over a piece of debris or hair, or the 2010 errors like the wire struck through. All of these are fantastic, but where does the $290,000 figure come from? This is where we must be precise. The extremely high values attributed to modern dimes often come from a specific set of error types known as transitional errors or mule errors, where a coin is struck with dies that were never meant to be used together. One of the most famous examples of a high-value dime is the 1995 Roosevelt dime error where the obverse was struck with a Lincoln cent die, creating a mule. An MS64 example of that specific error sold for $57,500. These are the extreme outliers, the ghosts that numismatists dream of finding. A flawless MS68 2010 with full bands detail enters extreme scarcity territory. While a standard 2010 dime in MS68 with full bands is rare, the astronomical values like $290,000 are reserved for the most exceptional, one-of-a-kind errors. Remember, a documented 2010 Roosevelt dime in MS68 with full bands has sold for $186. The value escalates exponentially based on the severity and uniqueness of the error. Now, let's do another pattern interrupt. Stop and think. Have you ever looked at a dime and actually seen the mint mark? The D for Denver or the P for Philadelphia? The mint mark is located just above the date on the obverse, to the right of Roosevelt's portrait. This tiny letter is the key that unlocks a world of potential value. Most people have never even noticed it. If you have a 2010 dime, you are already halfway there. The next step is to inspect it like a professional. This leads us to Act 3, the resolution. What is the current market heat? What is the call to action? The market for error coins is hotter than ever. Thanks to the internet and social media, collectors and treasure hunters are more connected than ever, sharing discoveries and bidding on rare finds. The full bands designation is crucial here. This means the horizontal bands on the torch on the reverse of the coin are fully split and clearly defined. A coin with full bands is worth significantly more than one without. For example, while a standard 2010 dime might be worth $4.71 in MS condition, one with full bands can jump to $10.83 or much higher depending on the grade. The allure is undeniable. The excitement of finding a small fortune in your pocket change is a thrill that has fueled the numismatic market for decades. So, what is the call to action? It's time to check your change. It's time to look at your jars, your pockets, your old coin collections. Look for the 2010 dime. Look closely at the edge. Is it abnormally wide? Look at the color. Is there a strange, rainbow-like sheen? Look at the details. Are they crisp and fully defined? Or are they imperfect? If you find one, do not spend it. Have it professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC. Their certification is the gold standard, and it is the only way to unlock the true value of your find. This is the urgency. The market is waiting. The moment you find that coin, your life could change. This is not just a hobby. It's an opportunity. But remember, this is just the tip of the iceberg. The world of ultra-rare coins is vast and filled with hidden treasures. And that brings us to our cliffhanger. Did you know that there is another ultra-rare dime out there, one that is even more valuable than the 2010 error? A specific dime, minted in the 1980s, with a missing mint mark that could be hiding in a roll of coins right now. It's a coin that is considered one of the greatest rarities of the 20th century. In fact, the 1982 no-mint mark dime is considered the scarcest coin struck for circulation in the 20th century. Imagine, a dime with no P or D that could be worth thousands. This is a story you do not want to miss. Subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell, because in our next video, we are going to reveal how you can find this legendary coin and add it to your collection. The hunt is on. Don't be the spender, be the collector.